Homework 10-1, the ACT stuff. Lots of good stuff on this one. You juniors take the ACT this year. I just want you to do well. Milbrath is not being mean by doing all this ACT stuff. I'm not. All right, what do we have here? We have what's called a frequency chart. So we have a chart because, kids love charts. Shows the cumulative number of Mrs. Hernandez science students whose test scores fell within certain score ranges. All test scores are whole numbers. There's two ways of doing this. One of them is a Venn diagram, which you guys haven't had any experience with. And the other way is just to kind of work your way back. Like I'm literally going to throw away all this. The way this thing is written, 65 to 70, 65 to 80. That means this is where 71 to 80 kind of takes, well, anyways. This is definitely 65 to 70. The next group, I really should have done a Venn diagram. 65 to 100 made, 21 of her kids made between 65 and 100. 19 of her kids made between 65 and 90. What this means is that 2 made between 91 and 100. I hope you can see that. And if 19 made between 65 and a 90, and 13 made between 65 and an 80, then 81 through 95 is going to be 6 kids, the difference. And the next kind of grade bump here would be the 71 to the 80. That should be 90. I'm tired. There's only one kid. And there's 12 kids who made between 65 and a 70. And you kind of had to organize your thoughts. I'm sorry I did a bad job. Maybe I should have done a Venn diagram on that. How many students have a test score in the interval 71 to 80? Well, there's one lonely kid. That's it. So you had to rearrange the data. 42, we won't talk about logarithms till close to Christmas, if not after. But even if you don't know anything about logarithms, you'll have a TI-84 in front of you. And it says, how many decibels are produced by an audio source whose sound intensity is 1,000 times K? Well, if I'm 1,000 times K, I've got to be 1,000 K. So I'm just going to say decibels is 10 log, and I'm replacing this intensity, that's what I is for, with 1,000 K, and it's sitting over a K. And what happens is the K's cancel. So I'm actually just needing to figure this out. And even if I don't know anything about logarithms, if I can use substitution and plug stuff in, I can figure this out. Then I can go to my TI-84, I can type 10, I can find the log key right next to the 7, and I can press 1,000. And I get a 30. So 30 decibels. Mario plays basketball on a town league team. The table below gives Mario's scoring statistics for last season. How many points did Mario score playing basketball last season? All right, so he made 81-point free throws, and he was successful 75% of the time. So 81-point free throws is going to be worth 80 points, and he gets 75% of that. 2-point field goals, he made 60 attempts, which would be 120 points total, and he gets 90% of that. Then 3-point field goals, he made 60 attempts. 3 times 60 is 180, and he gets 25% of that. And we just have to add everything up, and we'll have the answer. So 3/4 or 75% of 80 is 60. 90% of 120 should be 96. No, I'm off there. Sorry, it's 108. And 25% of 180 is 45. I just add on down. What have I got? I got 178. 22. 168. 32, yeah. 213. Give me if I'm a little slow this morning. Look at 44. That's something you've been doing in the class right now. The graph of y equals the absolute value of x minus 6, blah, blah, blah. Which of the following transformations, when applied to the mother function, result in x minus 6? This is a right 6 shift. Oh, we've beaten that to death. Ta-da! That's how hard that problem is. 3/4 of the population will miss it. It's such an easy problem. Toby wants to find the volume of a solid toy container. He fills a rectangular container, 8 centimeters long, 6 centimeters wide, and 10 centimeters high, with water to a depth of 4 centimeters. This is called displacement, by the way. Toby totally submerges the toy soldier in water. The height of the water with a submerged toy soldier is 6.6 centimeters. So the height has a difference. The height increases by 2.6 centimeters. All right, so let's find the original volume. It's a rectangular container. The original volumes are going to be 8 times 6 times 4. Notice I'm not using this 10. That's the original volume of water. What does that give you? It's 32 times 6. It's 192 centimeters. Cubic centimeters, sorry. That's the original volume. Now the new volume, after he pushes that toy in there, is 8 times 6 times 6.6. And I could have actually saved myself some work here, because I'm doing this where I'm going to have to do subtraction. And I'm too tired to be working with decimals this morning. So my little TI-84 here says 316.8 cubic centimeters. That's what it says. And then I'm just going to find the difference. I'm going to do 316.8 minus 192. And I'm going to do choice A. Now, what I could have done instead of doing this and subtracting is I could have just done 8 times 6 times 2.6, which I noticed off to the side, but I didn't do anything with it. Would have got me the same thing. But I'm sleepy. All right. A box in the shape of a cube has an interior side length of 18 inches and is used to ship a right circular cylinder. Here's a box in the shape of a cube. And if it's a box in the shape of a cube, all 3 dimensions are the same. Volume of a cube is going to be 18 cubed because you take a side and you cube it. They're on your form quiz. Anyways, it's used to ship a right circular cylinder with a radius of 6 inches and a height of 12 inches. So also on your form quiz is volume of a cylinder, and this is why it's there. It's pi r squared h. So this cylinder has a radius of 6 and a height of 12. And they're not actually even requiring you to do any computations whatsoever. The interior of the box, not occupied by the cylinder, is filled with packing material. Which of the following numerical expressions gives a number of cubic inches of the box filled with packing material? So again, you got this cylinder in here. And you guys have all opened boxes before in your life. The peanuts is going to be the difference between the volume of the box and the volume of the cylinder. So I'm going to take the volume of the cube. I'm going to take away the volume of the cylinder. So it's going to be 18 cubed minus that guy. And this was really not much more difficult than just knowing formulas. That's really all it was. I mean, had you known those 2 formulas for a box and a cylinder, you would have probably figured out the answer. Memorization, kids. A room has a rectangular floor that is 15 feet by 21 feet. What is the area of the floor in square yards? Now, you live in America, you're expected to know that 1 yard is 3 foot. So 15 foot is going to be 5 yards. 21 feet is going to be 7 yards. 5 times 7 is 35 cubic yards, square yards. Now, if you just do something silly and do like 15 times 21, a lot of kids, most Americans, think you can just divide by 3. And that's where choice D comes from. You can't do that. A square yard is 3 times 3, which is 9. So if you do 15 times 21, you better divide it by 9 to get the right answer. Oops, syntax error. Better divide it by 9. 35 is the right answer all day long. That is the ACT work for 10-1. Please take it seriously. I'm spending a lot of time on this for you.